In a world where legends are defined by what happens in front of the cameras, there exists a hidden narrative of compassion and loyalty that rarely makes the headlines. Most know Michael Jordan as the indomitable force on the court, a man whose gravity-defying moves and fierce competitiveness rewrote the rules of basketball. Yet, beneath the dazzling lights of fame, there was a chapter of his life that revealed a much deeper truth, one that involved a quiet, unsung hero named Joshua, a chilly afternoon in the Windy City. It was one of those autumn afternoons in Chicago when the city wore its gray melancholy like a heavy cloak. The wind sliced through the streets, carrying with it the scent of roasted chestnuts and the crisp aroma of fallen leaves. Michael Jordan, ever the enigma off the court, strolled through these urban corridors in a plain hoodie, deliberately blending into the anonymity of the cityscape. His footsteps, measured and purposeful, hinted at an unspoken quest, a search not for glory, but for something far more personal. As he meandered past a bustling subway station, where the usual clamor was replaced by an unusual silence, something caught his eye. Amidst discarded newspapers and tattered blankets lay a figure, huddled against the relentless chill. It was Joshua, a man whose life had once been interwoven with Michael's own remarkable journey. The face he saw was weathered, etched with the memories of countless battles both on and off the court, a face that once radiated strength and reassurance, now shrouded in neglect and isolation. A meeting of two worlds. For Michael, this moment was a collision of past and present. Joshua had been much more than a bodyguard. He was a steadfast companion, a silent guardian who had stood by Michael's side during the meteoric rise to superstardom. In the heat of championship battles and behind closed doors, Joshua had been the rock upon which trust was built, an ever-watchful presence whose loyalty never faltered. Now, to see him reduced to a shadow among the city's forgotten souls was a sight that shook Michael to his core. Without a moment's hesitation, Michael approached. The clamor of the city seemed to fade away as he knelt beside Joshua, his voice barely a whisper yet laden with profound emotion. "Joshua," he murmured, his tone both tender and resolute. In that instant, the past erupted into vivid clarity, a time when Joshua's protective presence pushed back overzealous fans and provided silent counsel during moments of triumph and despair. But now, Joshua's eyes were clouded with resignation, his spirit weighed down by years of hardship. He tried to shrink away, pulling his threadbare blanket closer as if to hide from the painful reminder of what he once was. Yet Michael's compassionate gaze reached deep into the soul beneath the layers of despair. In that moment, no grand speech was needed, only the simple, powerful acknowledgement that Joshua was still a part of Michael's life, still worthy of respect and dignity, a silent promise in a noisy world. That encounter was the beginning of a transformation neither man could have anticipated. Michael, who had always commanded the arena with a presence that defied gravity, now found himself engaged in a rescue mission that required nothing more than empathy and quiet determination. He did not seek attention, nor did he crave recognition. Instead, he set in motion a plan to restore Joshua's life with the same meticulous care he had once applied to perfecting his jump shot. Every detail was attended to with surgical precision. From arranging a discreet medical evaluation and psychological support to contacting top rehabilitation specialists, Michael orchestrated a comprehensive plan that would allow Joshua to rebuild his life without the prying eyes of the media. There were no press conferences, no social media announcements, only silent acts of kindness that spoke louder than any headline ever could. At the entrance of a luxurious five-star hotel, a stark contrast to the desolation Joshua had endured, a single, determined look from Michael was enough to override even the most stringent security protocols. The opulent lobby, with its gleaming chandeliers and meticulously polished marble floors, became an unlikely stage for a private act of redemption. Here, amidst the elegance and comfort, Joshua's story began to be rewritten, the healing process. In the quiet confines of a modest hotel room, Joshua began to share his story, a narrative filled with grief, loss, and a cascade of misfortunes. He spoke of the devastating loss of his wife to an aggressive cancer, a tragedy that shattered his world and set off a series of events spiraling into despair. The weight of grief had led him down a path of isolation and poor decisions, ultimately culminating in a life where he felt invisible and abandoned by those he had once called family and friends. Michael listened intently, his eyes never leaving Joshua's. It wasn't a performance for the cameras, but an intimate exchange between two souls scarred by life's harsh realities. The silence between them carried the weight of years gone by, each pause echoing the pain and the promise of renewal. Michael's silent vow was clear. He would not let Joshua disappear into the void of forgotten memories. Even as Joshua's tear-streaked face revealed the toll of his struggles, Michael worked tirelessly to orchestrate a quiet rescue mission. He arranged for new clothes, balanced meals, and even reactivated Joshua's bank account. Most importantly, he ensured that every step of this journey was taken with utmost respect for Joshua's privacy. Exposure, he believed, would only serve to deepen the wounds. When Joshua awoke the next day, he found a handwritten note left with care. "You are not alone anymore. I've got you." There was no signature, no branding, just the unspoken promise of unwavering support. Alongside it lay enough money to cover his immediate needs and the contact details of a private driver, ready to assist him at any hour. A return to dignity. Over the following days, Joshua began to embrace the new life Michael had so meticulously arranged for him. Slowly, he rediscovered the dignity and self-respect that had once defined him. The transformation was subtle at first. A cautious smile, a tentative step forward, but with each passing day, his old spark began to reemerge. Michael, ever the silent guardian, continued to watch from a distance, stepping in only when necessary. He had no desire for public acclaim. His actions were driven by a personal code of loyalty and honor. The world might celebrate the flashy victories and record-breaking moments on the court, but Michael knew that true greatness was measured by the lives one touched in moments of vulnerability. In a move that stunned even the most seasoned executives at one of his companies, Michael arranged for Joshua to be reinstated, not as a token favor, but as an essential part of the team. In a confidential meeting with senior managers, he stated in a calm yet resolute tone, "Joshua is coming back. He has not only the experience, but also the loyalty and heart that our team needs. He deserves a second chance." The atmosphere in the room was electric, with a mix of disbelief and admiration. It was rare to see such decisive action from someone whose influence extended beyond sports, a man who had redefined success by the sheer force of his character. For Michael, this wasn't charity. It was an act of justice, a rectification of the neglect that had befallen someone who had once been an integral part of his journey. The ripple effect of compassion. As Joshua re-entered the world he had once known, he did so with a renewed sense of purpose. Clad in a tailored suit and a freshly minted identity, he was no longer the forgotten figure on a cold subway bench. His colleagues greeted him with genuine warmth, and even some shed tears at the sight of his transformation. Joshua's reawakening was more than a personal victory. It was a testament to the transformative power of loyalty and compassion. The quiet corridors of the company soon buzzed with whispers of the extraordinary turn of events. A man who had been invisible was now a symbol of resilience and hope. In hushed tones, employees recounted how Michael, who many saw as an untouchable icon, had demonstrated a humility that was both rare and deeply moving. For them, Joshua's recovery became a living reminder that beneath the veneer of success lies the fundamental truth: that every person, regardless of their fall, deserves to be lifted back up. Michael's own journey was also profoundly altered by the experience. In the quiet moments spent gazing out over the city's skyline, he reflected on the true meaning of greatness. It wasn't measured by the accolades or the records on the board. It was defined by the compassion one extended in moments of crisis, by the silent promises made away from the flashing lights of fame. A call to empathy. This is more than just a story about a legendary athlete rescuing an old friend. It is a poignant reminder to us all. In our fast-paced world, where the allure of success often blinds us to the struggles of those who once stood by our side, we are called to remember the value of loyalty. Joshua's journey is a quiet plea to never overlook the people who have given us so much, those who have protected our dreams and celebrated our victories, even when the applause had long since faded. How many times have we passed by someone in need, too wrapped up in our own success to notice their silent cries? Michael's actions compel us to ask ourselves, is it not our duty to lend a hand when the weight of the world threatens to drag down those who once held us up? True greatness, as illustrated by this heartfelt encounter, is found not in the limelight, but in the humility of our actions when no one is watching. The enduring legacy of a quiet hero. Today, as Joshua rebuilds his life with newfound dignity and purpose, his story continues to ripple through the lives of those who hear it. It stands as a timeless lesson that loyalty is never out of fashion, and that the greatest victories are often those fought away from the glare of public attention. Michael Jordan's quiet rescue was not merely an act of kindness, it was an emblem of true heroism that transcends the boundaries of sport and fame. This narrative, a blend of pain, injustice, redemption, and hope, reminds us that every fall carries within it the seed of a comeback. It challenges us to consider, in our own lives, are we honoring those who have shaped our journeys, or have we allowed the pursuit of success to blind us to the silent struggles around us? In the end, Joshua's transformation is a living tribute to the idea that compassion, when combined with unwavering loyalty, can spark a revival not just in one life, but in an entire community. It serves as an invitation to all of us to look beyond the superficial, to value the human connections that truly define our existence, and to remember that sometimes the most significant acts of heroism occur when the spotlight is turned off. So as you reflect on this extraordinary story, consider the quiet heroes in your own life. Reach out, listen, and perhaps offer a hand to those who need it most. For in doing so, we keep alive the timeless truth that every person has the power to transform not just their own destiny, but the very fabric of the world around them. Have you ever encountered a moment of unexpected compassion? Do you know someone who quietly gave everything without expecting recognition? Share your story, and let's celebrate the beauty of empathy and loyalty. A reminder that no fall is final when someone is there to help you rise again. This rewritten account, inspired by the timeless values of respect and humility, transforms a simple act into an enduring legacy, a narrative where every quiet gesture has the power to echo through the hearts of generations.